What's going on YouTube? This is Max coming back at you once again with another video. This time I'm doing a wall mounting video on the Sony A90J, and I'm also doing some demos on the Bravia Core Application. If you could do me a favor by hitting that subscribe button and that like button if you like this type of content. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Okay, so for the wall mount, I'm using a Sanus fix wall mount. You can find this at Best Buy. I believe it was going for $80, but I really got it for a really good price at Best Buy. Just go to Best Buy store, talk to one of your sales associates. Hopefully they'll be able to give you a better deal than what it's going for online. But this is what I'm using for my wall mount for the Sony A90J. I also have this same wall mount for my Sony A9F that I currently have in the living room. For HDMI cables, I'm using Zeskit for my in-wall HDMI 2.1. Before I went ahead and did a wall mount, I went ahead just want to show you guys how thin the Sony A90J is. It's pretty thin, and just looking at the side view of it, you can really see the difference on that. This one, I'm just going a little bit more deeper on the actual HDMI cords that I'm using. So I got a 16-inch Zeskit. You can find this on Amazon.com if you guys are interested. But yeah, I'm using this 16 foot HDMI cables that's going from the wall. I went ahead and tested it just to make sure it works, and everything seems to be working as expected. So this is what I'm going to be using for my cords. So on the back of the TV, you can see the speakers, how the Sony A90J is set up, and then also the inputs. So when I'm about to wall mount this, I'm going to use the HDMI, the eARC for my HDMI cord, and I'm just showing you guys what the back looks like. And as a wiring wise, what my dad and I did is that we tapped into the one of the outlets, the coaxial specifically, found out that it was an easy way to put the HDMI next to the coaxial. It was no issue with the box. So what we did was we tied a string, and we had some type of a metal piece that's like kind of like a magnet that went down behind the wall and pretty much tied the HDMI cord and dragged that down from the top to the bottom. And it was pretty much really easy to do. I didn't need to have any type of special tool, just to have the wiring come out. So it was pretty straightforward. It only took maybe less than 5 minutes just to pull everything through. The only thing that took us longer for the installation wise is trying to find the actual covering for the hide the HDMI wire, and then also too for the actual cable or the coaxial input, which took us the majority of the time at Home Depot trying to find the best covering. But you can see right here, you can see my dad is putting the actual, it's kind of like a magnet into the back, so we have something weighted, and it pretty much everything just flushed and went down at the very bottom. And I dragged the metal magnet outside, and you can see here in the video how everything was strung, and you can see that I had the HDMI cord started to come out from that side. So like I said, the process was pretty easy. This took more time than actually hanging up or mounting the actual TV itself, because my dad and I was trying to assess what was the best way to put the HDMI cord behind the wall. Now, mounting a TV, just like I mentioned before, is pretty easy. Sanus made it very easy. They gave a template of just giving you kind of like a template outline out of paper, just to give you a description of where you want to hang your TV at, and the instruction is pretty self-explanatory when it comes to mounting a TV. So the only thing we had to do was is take the screws out of the back of the TV on the A90J, and pretty much with the parts that the Sanus provided, everything was just very simple to do. The measurements, make sure that everything was aligned. We put the actual mounting, I think it was 1.5 inches, maybe close to 2 inches below the outlets. You really couldn't see from the video, but you can see that is 2 inches below, which is recommended, so we can at least plug the TV up. And what I did was I used a flush extension, so when I'm plugging up the TV, that I won't have any issue with the plug. So I have an extension where it's flush to the outlet, and we pretty much just had cleaned up the cords, and everything seems to work as expected. And right now I'm just showing you how everything is being screwed in to the wall and showing how simple it is. One thing I did fail to mention is that what I screwed in, it definitely went into the studs. That's one thing that I didn't mention earlier, but we was able to find the studs and we was able to drill in, which was no issue. So if you guys are planning on mounting it, make sure you have some type of drill, and it'll make your life a lot easier. Electric drill, so power drill, excuse me. So it'll make it easier for you. So what we did was we taped the HDMI cords on the wall. The only reason is when you hang the TV, I just didn't want the cords to be dangling. It would just make it easier for me to plug everything up. And you can see how the extension is connected to the actual power outlet where my dad was at. So pretty much the only hardest part was once you mount this TV, you cannot see anything on the back of it at all because it's flush to the wall, it's fixed to the wall. So we had to make sure we had all our cords aligned first. So before we mounted, it was pretty much ready to go. So that's where you see me plugging the HDMI cords, and you can see my dad making sure that the TV was being held and didn't fall on my head, and then the extension cord that is connected to the power outlet, we made sure that everything was tucked in nice and secure. So after having everything connected and testing it, I'm just wiping down the TV with a premium microfiber cloth. You can find that at any store, electronic stores, Micro Center, Best Buy. Just make sure you don't put any type of chemicals on there. I just keep it dry. Don't use water if needed and stuff. Don't put soap on there. But for the microfiber cloth, I'm pretty much just wiping off the fingerprints for what we did to the TV, and yeah, everything is nice and clean. And now you can see the finished product. Everything is hung up. I just gotta clean up everything, and this is what we have. You can see how everything is nice and flush with the wall, and no wirings are dangling from the TV. Everything is nice and secured. HDMI cord is plugged up to the HDMI DE arc, and I tested the cords. It plays 4K 120, and this is where everything is hooked up to the stand. Well, excuse me, hooked up to the wall, not stand. Correction. Now let's talk about Bravia Core. What is Bravia Core and how does it stack up compared to the other applications? Before I go into Bravia Core, I'm just showing you guys just the menu. Before I go ahead and select this, showing you the new UI. But yeah, let me go ahead and select Bravia Core. So Bravia Core is IMAX enhanced movies. Pretty much is all Sony studio movies at the moment. I don't know if they're going to expand that to other studios, but at the moment it is Sony. But we initially start out or set up Bravia Core. It's a free account. If you buy the Sony A90J, you get 10 free credits. From the 10 free credits, you get to purchase movies from their lineup. So for me, I picked SpiderMan, Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Far From Home. That was the next movie I bought. I bought a whole bunch of other Sony Studio movies that took advantage of the whole IMAX enhanced features. But they also have free streaming of the IMAX movies, and this is pretty much the lineup that they have. So it's a pretty vast catalog that Sony have, which is, I'm pretty amazed that they was able to put as much movie content on this application. But what I find it kind of interesting, this Bravia Core is very similar to the Sony had Sony A9F and some other Sony TVs before the newer ones came out. They had another application that was prior to that you could watch IMAX enhanced movies, and memory can't escape me, but I'll do a comparison between those two. But what I like about the Bravia Core application is it has a lot more movie content, and I'm glad it's pretty neat that Sony able to give you 10 free movies. It's up to you how the way you want to spend it, but it's definitely take advantage of this Sony A90J movies. Now, one thing that I did find that was interesting, especially when I was watching some of the movies, is the quality of it. So when you start off with your account, they'll ask you if you want to use Pure, which is, it will take up 80 megabytes worth of internet speed to show higher quality video image for the Bravia Core. And I haven't done the comparison yet, but from taking at a first glance at Bravia Core, I was looking at Spider-Man Far From Home, Venom, and just going off of memory of because I had the 4K disc, they look pretty close between each other. Depending on your internet speed, like I said, it looks really good for what they make in their first attempt. Of course, they're going to make updates with the application, but that's something that I could do in another video, where I could do the comparison between a Bravia Core movie and a Vudu, Apple TV, and a 4K disc. If you guys are interested, leave a comment if you are interested in seeing that. But I will do a comparison to see if anyone could tell the differences between the streaming service and the actual 4K disc. But so far from the Bravia Core, I haven't had a chance to really look through everything, but they got a good lineup of movies from what I can see. And watching just clips of movies here and there, especially Spider-Man, I looked a little bit at Venom. It's really good. One thing I really haven't stressed in my other videos, and how Sony A90J quality is like I said, it's hard to really capture this on a camera or even my iPhone, and I have a Sony ZV-1 camera. The image quality, hands down, it is a vast improvement compared to the X1 Ultimate chip on my Sony A9F. It's really hard to really describe it, but the image is clear, is so detailed that they are on another league when it comes to their processing. And when it comes to looking at the specular highlights of some of the videos that I was watching, it's certain areas that it gets so bright that sometimes you kind of look away at certain things, and it's not even blown out. And that's the best way I could describe it. It shows the detail. It keeps the shadow detail when it comes to this TV. And looking at the IMAX enhanced movies, short time that I had it, especially Venom. If anybody ever watched Venom, there's a lot of dark scenes, and if you don't have the TV that doesn't do a good shadow detail, this A90J does a great job with shadow detail. On my A9F, it looks good, but looking at the A90J, you really can see shadow detail. You don't see the black details are not is not overly when it comes to the previous OLED TV. You can see the shadow detail good. The specular highlights is amazing. It's just so far I'm really liking this TV, and like I said, I still don't have a review yet because I'm still playing with everything and with my short time with the TV. But so far, I think Sony has really knocked it out of the park with the picture quality. Now the other stuff with the game modes, that's something that we'll talk about later. But if you're looking at purely just movie, video, standard definition, they did a great job. Here's a little clip from SpiderMan Far From Home. Of course, I can't show you the whole thing because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But just looking at the images right then and there, you can see from just what I captured so far how bright and detailed it is. Like I said, the camera doesn't do any justice when it comes to watching content on this Sony A90J. Like I said, no justice at all. But like I said, I want to hear you guys' thoughts of what you think of the Sony A90J Bravia Core or my wall mounting video. If you like this type of content, please do me a favor by hitting that subscribe button, that like button, and I'll do the best I can to try to answer any of you guys' questions. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Hope everyone have a good one. Take care. Before I end this video, just want to thank my dad for helping me wall mount this TV. I greatly appreciate it. Can't thank him enough for helping me out on this one. So thanks, Dad, for helping me out.